I have so much to say today. Where do I begin? I guess I should start with a little bit of backstory and a little bit of explanation as to what I'm talking about before I get into it. Some of you already know what I'm talking about, some won't. But for those of you who don't know, I have been working on a book for the last few years, and I wanted to self-publish it for numerous reasons. I won't go into it again because I've said it a million times and everybody's probably sick of me saying it, but just mostly to keep the full creative control of my book, and also to know that I'm doing everything I can to get the book out there, whereas if I handed it over to a publisher, I don't know that they're doing everything that they can. This book is truly, I feel, the definition of a passion project. I've been so enjoying writing it and so into planning it and going into all the details and researching stuff. And it all began because of my obsession with deep sea creatures, which is bordering on insanity, to be honest with you. I just love deep sea creatures. I think they're fantastic. They're just such cool dudes. Like, big fin squid. Love him. Love him. If I could... dream guest on my podcast?
Dream guest on my podcast? Oh my gosh.
Big fin squid. Like, just iconic. Amazing. I love him. I love him. Check out Deep Sea Oddities on YouTube. You just get to look at deep sea creatures. But because I was so obsessed, and I have always written, I've always, I guess, been a writer. Even like when I was a young kid, I was always writing stories and stuff. Like, I remember writing a story when I was 5 about a farmer or something. So that's unrelated, but I've always been writing stuff. My first stab at writing a book was sort of a thriller. This was when I was 18, I believe, and it was crap. It was a thriller. The main character was a psychiatrist, and it was terrible. And after that, multiple different thrillers, and then I got more into fantasy, and here we are. And I wanted to write something with deep sea creatures, and I wanted to figure out how I could do that. I was like, well, then it has to be in the sea, obviously. And then I wanted to write about mermaids, so I started researching mermaids, and I found about the Irish mermaids, which are called the Merrow. I have a book. I have multiple books related to Celtic and Irish mythology and woodland mythology and stories and stuff, but there's one particular one. She's a chunky bitch. So we have Irish Fairy and Folk Tales by W.B. Yeats. Very well known. It's a collection of first-hand accounts from Irish people of like mythical creatures. They believe they've seen banshees and what have you. Banshee would be the most well-known Irish one, right? I actually have written a story about banshees, but that's for another time. Can you tell I didn't plan this video, by the way? Because I was not planning to pull this book out. If I had planned that, it would have been on the table. And I would have put a bookmark where the section about Merrow is, but clearly I'm an idiot. The Merrow, or if you write it in Irish, Mora or Moraguk, from Mor meaning sea and Och, a maid, is not uncommon, they say, on the wilder coasts. The fishermen do not like to see them, for it always means coming gales. The male Merrows, if you use such a phrase, I have never heard the masculine of Merrow, have green teeth, green hair, pig's eyes, and red noses. But their women are beautiful, for all their fishtails and the little duck-like scales between their fingers. Sometimes they prefer, small blame to them, good-looking fishermen to be their sea lovers. Near Bantry in the last century there is said to have been a woman covered all over with scales like a fish, who was descended from such a marriage. I looked at a lot of different mermaid stories from different cultures and countries, and it's all pretty the same. It's really good-looking women fish. And was it just lonely sailors thinking about this stuff? Maybe, but this was inspiration for my book because I really wanted to write Irish folklore into my stuff for a long time, and this was kind of my way to do it. Although, because it is a fantasy book, I've taken a lot of creative liberties, so although This is one of the descriptions of Merrow, although there have been different ones depending on the text. But, you know, a lot of Irish stuff is kind of passed down from word of mouth. But I have taken a lot of creative liberties with Merrow. So in my version of events, they're shapeshifters. They live on land on the island of Inish Alta, which is completely made up, but it's off the west coast of Ireland. It's in the Atlantic Ocean in my version of things, and they can turn into their merrow or mermaid form. The men are not ugly and green, they're just normal mermen. And in my version of the book, they live on the island and they share that island with the Fae. However, there are huge tensions between the Merrow and the Fae. They do live together and they call it peace, but it's not peace. They fight and violence breaks out between them, and they pretty much hate each other, but they just sort of somewhat coexist, but separately. They all worship the Tuatha Dé Danann, which if you know anything about Irish stuff, you will have heard of them. If not, don't worry, you'll read it in the book. But they mostly worship Danu, the mother goddess. Everybody, Fae or Merrow, worships this same deity, except for a secret group who worship the drowned gods, who are the Fomorians, which is the group that my main character is part of and her whole family is part of. And she ends up in an arranged marriage to one of the Fae, and both of them have their own agendas for engaging in this marriage, neither of them good. There are multiple POVs, there are different subplots, romantic subplots, but it's not a romantasy, it's fantasy with romance subplots, don't worry. This is not a Court of Thorn and Roses. There's gay characters, there's morally grey characters, there's betrayal and lies and all of this stuff. And I'm really excited about it. And it seems like a lot of you guys are excited too, because I launched a Kickstarter for this to help mitigate some of the costs that go into self-publishing a book well. Because there's a lot of things that go into getting a book out in the world that's not just writing it. I mean, if you look at the Kickstarter, I've used a placeholder cover and it's hideous. It's the ugliest thing everyone's ever created, and that's because I'm not a cover artist. I just needed something for the Kickstarter. So obviously one of the things I have to do is get a cover artist. So I launched the Kickstarter 2 days ago, and I I put a much lower number than what I needed or what I may need. Because Kickstarter has an all or nothing policy, so if you don't reach your goal, then you don't get anything. And within the first, I posted it in the night, and then I woke up the next morning and it was more than halfway funded, and I was like, oh my god, because I was really worried that in the 30 days I had set for this fundraiser that I wouldn't raise enough money. But it was halfway done and I was like, oh my god, I think this might actually work. And then today I woke up, and not only is it fully funded, it's fully funded and then some. Looking at it right now, it's 139% funded. And it's only been up for 2 days, and I am just stunned beyond words. I am... See, no words. I feel like maybe I should have planned what I was going to say, but I didn't want to script something. I just wanted to talk to you guys and talk about this. Yeah, this fundraiser is supposed to go on for 30 days, and we reached it in 2 days, and I'm just... Thank you so much. I'm so grateful and so shocked, and like I knew some people had said that they would be interested in supporting a Kickstarter, and I knew that some people would, but I didn't know that so many of you would and would be so generous with it, and that people would share it around. And I getting emotional. I actually did get emotional about it. Just thank you so much, because of this creative project that I have put so much of myself into, that I have loved doing, that I really wanted to share with people, it's actually going to see the light of day because of you. Because you have allowed me to do this. You are helping me do this. And I can't even express how grateful I am for that. And it's just, it's insane. And I know that I am very lucky and in a very privileged position to have an audience and to have a group of people who are listening to me on a weekly, daily, whatever it is basis, just talk about stuff. And so I can share that with a wide group of people, and not everybody has that. And having you guys and having this audience has just allowed me to do a lot of creative things that I feel like otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do them. Like, I've released music. For better or for worse, I have released music, and although that's just, you know, a hobby, it's not something that I do full-time in any capacity. It's not something I am trying to take anywhere. I just do it for fun, but you guys still stream it and listen to it, and that's so great. I released that that journal planner a few years ago, and you guys loved that. I've got to experiment with different kinds of videos, and I've just gotten to do so much creatively that I would have had a hard time doing, or at least getting out into the world, if it wasn't for you guys. And now this book that I'm so excited for people to read is actually gonna go out into the world. And the best part for me, anyway, that I feel is that one thing I was worried about was, even if I had have somehow raised all the money on my own to do this, I was so worried that nobody was gonna read it. Like, I was gonna put all this effort into it and there wasn't gonna be a single person out there who got the book. Maybe one or two people. But there's people who have said they can't support the Kickstarter, but they'll look forward to reading the book when it's out. Or there's people who have pledged to the Kickstarter and as rewards are getting copies of the book or the ebook. And that means that that's actually going to be in people's hands. Like, they're actually going to read it. And that's really, really exciting, because that's all I wanted out of this, was for people to read it. And that's going to happen now because of you guys, and I'm so grateful. So I want to talk a little bit about the logistics of the Kickstarter. So there's still 28 days to go, and like I said, I need more than the goal, but if this is, you know, if not a single person donates after this, I'm still happy. I'm still grateful. I still can mitigate quite a lot of the costs. But if you guys still want to continue to donate and to pledge to the Kickstarter, then you can absolutely do that for the next 28 days. And I really appreciate if you do. Obviously, the early bird rewards are, you know, they're done. They were supposed to be for the first 24 hours. So that's it now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't been keeping up with this, then with Kickstarter and with my Kickstarter, you pledge a certain amount, and then as a thank you, you get a reward. Or you can just pledge however much you want, $1, $2, whatever it is. And so I had 2 early bird rewards where you could get the some of the things for a lower price. And those are done now, but because of the popularity of the €20 reward, I have made a new reward tier for €20. So you can still get the paperback and the signed paperback as their own rewards. They're just on their regular tiers instead of the early bird ones. But there's a new €20 tier, which I'll tell you about now. So this is the digital bundle. You'll get the ebook when the book is out. You'll get an exclusive short story in digital format, and you will get a handwritten thank you note also in digital format. So that is now on the new €20 tier. So if you're interested in that, you can get that. Or you can get all the other tiers. There's the paperback, the signed paperback, we have the digital and paperback bundle, and we have the mega bundle and the ebook itself. So those are all the tiers now, and I'm also gonna do like a stretch goal reward. So at this moment in time, we are really, really close to hitting the $5,000 mark in euros, which is insane to me. So I do feel like with the rate that this is going at, that the Kickstarter is going, we will hit that mark. So once, or if we do, so I'll be sending out an extra reward to everybody who pledged to the Kickstarter. So this is going to be, it's just a small like extra thing to say thank you. So it's going to be phone wallpaper, art of the book. Obviously this is going to come out at the same time as all the other rewards, and there will have to be an artist who does this. I need to hire the artist and work with the artist who's going to be working on the wallpapers and the prints and the stickers. So that's all going to come out at the same time as the other rewards, but that's just a little extra thank you from me. Hi, this is editing Eva here, to say that I just sat down to transfer the files from my camera and my microphone to my desktop so that I could edit, and yeah, we've already hit 5,000. Exactly, actually. Look, see there? 5,000. So I guess everybody is going to be getting the wallpapers, so thank you again. I just spent this whole video saying thank you, so I won't say it again, but guys, you're insane in like the best possible way. I love you all. And as a huge stretch goal, because there is 28 days to go, I feel like this one it's reaching too far, to be honest with you. I don't think we would hit this number in any means, shape or form, but I'm putting it there just in case. If we get to 7.5 in the 28 days that are left, then there will be an additional reward for everybody who has pledged the Kickstarter, and this is going to be an exclusive short story in digital format. Now, this is going to be a completely different short story to the short story that's included in some of the bundles. So if you've pledged to a bundle that has a short story, you're now going to get 2 short stories. And that's assuming we get to the 7.5, which again, I think is really overestimating it at this point, but I just wanted to have it there in case. And whether we raise another euro or not, it's fine. I am just so happy and so grateful. And I also want to say really quickly, if my energy seems off today, it's not because I'm not grateful or I'm not happy. I am ecstatic. I just have a migraine coming on, so I'm in quite a lot of pain and there's a light shining directly in my face, so it's not helping. So that's all that's wrong. Besides that, I am very grateful, very happy, just beyond words. I've said grateful too many times, but it is the word of the day. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I tend to do that in these thank you videos because I want to make sure that you understand how much I appreciate you, and I appreciate this, and I appreciate this support. So I just say the same points over and over again, but that probably gets annoying, so I'll stop. But I do want to say, like I said earlier, I understand that I have only been able to get this much support because I have an audience that I can share this stuff with. I have people to share the Kickstarter with. And I can only hope that in the future I'm able to give back to other indie authors, because not everybody has the audience that I have. And a lot of people are putting so much work into their books. And I thought it might be good if I shared some indie authors that I found on Instagram or TikTok and stuff. Full disclaimer, these are people whose debuts are coming out, and I obviously haven't read the book. So I don't know if the book is any good. But from the sounds of it, they sound interesting. So just note that if there's something horrifically problematic in the book when it does come out, I didn't read it firsthand and I didn't know about it, but I don't think there is anything wrong. I'm sure these books will be great. So I just want to name out some people. Please stay for this bit because just do it. Thanks. I'm just opening things. Bear with me. So one person that I actually follow on Instagram, though, all her posts are gone for some reason, except for 2. I just saw, just before I sat down to record this, she put up a post announcing her debut book. So this is Jess Fuller. So her debut book is called Echoes of Fate. It's book 1 in the Woven Fate series. Pre-orders are now open for that book. I checked it out. It's only pre-orders for the physical book within Australia, and then pre-orders for the ebook around the world, but it's released on the 30th of November. It's about a witch and a witch hunter, and it honestly sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to reading it when it does come out. I think it should be good. It sounds good to me. I'm not just like showing you guys any books that I find. This one genuinely sounds interesting to me. So go give Jess a follow. I checked, she also has a TikTok, which I am now following. I wasn't before. And send her some love. You can tell her that I sent you if you want. You don't have to though, but check out her debut novel. And then I have some more as well. Okay, next author is Joline Lim. I actually have just realized that this book that I thought was coming out soon is already out. I'm dumb. It came out last month, so I haven't read it yet, but the book is out and I am going to read it. It's called Heart of the Moon Goddess. She has other books as well, but this is the one that I had seen on TikTok. And the tagline for this is: a girl born with the power of the moon, a prince gifted with the radiance of the sun, and the rise of the sea king, the Bakunawa, unless I have butchered that. It sounds really interesting. I am absolutely going to read that, like, ASAP. And I thought it hadn't come out yet. So yeah, it's out. But that'll still be in the description as well. Okay, the next author, I can't actually find 2 important details. I can't find what her full name or her pen name is, and I can't find the name of the book, but the content that she's posted on TikTok is quite interesting. She's writing a fantasy romance book, and she is currently editing the debut novel that I believe she's going to publish herself, although I'm not sure. And then she also has a YouTube channel, but I haven't seen any of that yet, but the stuff seems interesting. So, you can follow her. She just goes by Writer Lily or Lily Writer. Like I said, she's posted a lot of stuff about the book that she's writing, and it does sound really interesting, so you can follow her. Those are just 3 people. Everybody is in the description. You can check them out. And I'll try and do this more often, just in random videos, just mention an indie author, whether they're published or unpublished, working on their debut novel or working on their 7th novel, whatever it is. If you guys ever have any suggestions of indie authors that you like, then just write it in the comments and I will try to see them. But do check those out. I just feel like there's so many writers out there who don't have what I am lucky enough to have, and my book could still flop. I'm still terrified it's gonna flop, and that even though some people are gonna get copies from the Kickstarter, nobody else is going to get a copy. Nobody else is going to read the ebook or anything. And then I'm going to cry. But that's not the point. For now, we're focusing on the positive, and the positive is that you guys are amazing. You are incredibly generous. You can still pledge to the Kickstarter for the next 28 days. You can still get rewards. You can still share it around if you don't want to donate yourself, or you can also donate and share it if you feel like it. If any of you watching is a billionaire, please give me €1 million. I would appreciate that. Because if you're a billionaire, like, what's $1 million to you? Nothing. It's fine. I promise I'll distribute it, okay? Anyway, I'm not going to ramble anymore. I just wanted to let you guys know how grateful I was. I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to hop on here and say hi. And sure, what's another video that's going to screw up my analytics and make YouTube think that nobody's watching this because it's not a drama video, so no extra people are going to click on it. Only the people who are specifically interested in hearing me talk about my stuff, which is not that many. But that's okay. YouTube analytics are screwed anyway. So it's all good. Thank you so much. And do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. I think that's it. Yeah, I will be posting, obviously, more stuff about the book and things on social media, and I will be posting on my second channel more stuff about books and writing and stuff. I don't want to put it all here because most people aren't interested, but my second channel, social media, it's all in the description. You know where to find it. You're smart people. I trust you. You got it. I will keep you guys updated on the Kickstarter because for the next month, I will not shut up about it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for donating or listening or taking any interest. If you want to look at the Kickstarter, you can see more information on the book and on why I chose to do a Kickstarter and what the rewards are and stuff. That's in the description. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye!